Reddit has new items for sale for a limited time, including the awesome Berserker hat, one of my favorite hat pieces in the game. So let's go over the weekly reset, although that Berserker hat is a daily selection item. And remember those premium starting items without any perks? Well, on PC someone got them as well with the perks. So I want to update you on if these weapons are any good, and also go over a Game Informer interview with the producer Julian, where he briefly touches on post-launch, so maybe what we can expect. A like on the video would of course really help me out, and let's go. Congrats to David for winning my previous Helix credit pack giveaway for 2,300 Helix credits, and I now started a new one that will be weekly again, so there's more chance for everyone to win. You can enter that via the link in the pinned comment, and you have to be a subscriber of this channel before you enter, and good luck. Okay, let's first check on Reddit's shop that of course resets every week and opens up after completing one story arc in England. Every week he gets 3 new items, and it's not as good as last week with the Allsvinder mount of course, but the selection is not really bad either. We got the Valkyrie Chest piece, the first item that I don't think is worth buying, like the armor set in general is not that good, and it also doesn't look as cool. Also, for full armor sets you will of course need the 5 pieces, so that will take a while to get them all from the Valkyrie set. The bird skin is from the Einar pack, and I think it's pretty cool, mostly because of the paint on the back. I still don't think that it's really worth your opal, because there are better bird skins out there, but if you like it, then it might be worth it. And we got the Draugr front tattoo, which is also of course not really worth it. Now the daily selection is the most exciting thing right now, but this is only available for 24 hours. It's the Berserker hat from the Ultimate Edition pack. So you can buy that separately, but these items can now also appear at Reddit's shop. And that's good to know, because that means that the regular wolf mount should be able to appear at any point as well. I will of course keep an eye out and report it here on the channel if the wolf mount is for sale. But yeah, the Berserker armor is not really powerful in terms of stats, but I totally think it's one of the best looking headgear in the game, especially during cutscenes, and I totally think that we will at one point be getting a visual customization system, so they can wear any armor piece you want, but keep the stats from other gear. Odyssey added this a little over a month after launch, and with the way the legacy outfits work right now, where it functions as a chest piece, so destroys your final set bonus, and it can also not be upgraded, only has 1 rune. Like, this really feels like a temporary solution for this, while they keep working on the visual customization system. In that Game Informer interview, it is noted that Odyssey was very successful in listening to the player base, and I totally agree with that. So that is something they want to do with Valhalla as well. It's about hearing what the player base is saying and reacting to that, on top of the extra content and features. And I totally think that this transmog system is like on top of the list, like the most requested thing in the game. The ones who came before also did a poll recently asking people what they would want in the game, and there the transmog system was #1. So again, I think it's a matter of time, and then this Berserker hood is a great addition to your wardrobe. So if you still got some leftover opal, then I think it's worth getting, although it's of course up to you. And you get opal for doing the daily and weekly contracts that you can pick up at Reddit. So pick them up, do them each day, and then you get the resources in like a few minutes time, because these missions are really short. And other things we learned from that Game Informer interview is that early on in the development they had some sort of naval combat in Valhalla, but we actually found that Vikings were not doing much naval combat. We thought they might be shooting flaming arrows like in Odyssey. So when they figured that out, they removed the feature early on, and the ships transformed more into vehicles as they are now. Although you can of course still have your ship close to the shore and then let your Jumps Vikings help you from afar. But maybe you remember the Reddit post from Skyward Soul I talked about in a previous video. He namely found 6 new skills in the files on the PC 3 of which are indeed in the game already, like they showed up at some point and then were removed again. So that makes you think that the other skills he mentions here in this Reddit post are indeed legit as well, and they focused on naval combat. So this could either be like placeholder stuff that will never make it into the game, or it could be that for the post-launch they will introduce more naval combat systems, like the fact that we get river raids might hint at that as well. So yeah, we'll be curious to follow this if we indeed get like a ramming ability for our ship, as Skyward Soul mentions. Other things we know are coming in the future as free content updates are settlement buildings, and we might know the exact number now, because Aimer reached out to me with an email he got with stats where they note that his settlement is level 6, so the maximum in the game right now, but also how there are still 8 buildings left to build, which of course not the case at all. So it could be an email issue, or maybe a hint at what we might expect in the future. I thought it was still interesting to share. In my previous video I talked about the way too expensive premium starter pack that gives you a naval set that looks pretty cool, but also weapons that are bugged right now because they have no perks and cannot be upgraded. Well, Lexar's games, and of course a link to his channel will be in the video description, he did some tricks on PC and got the items as well, but for him they do have perks. So these weapons were finished already, but for some reason just do not like show up properly in the main game. But yeah, as I already said, I totally think that the upcoming patch will fix this and turn the items into mythical with perks, but even with the perks, the items are real bad. The Royal Sword gives extra ability damage on heavy finishers, but as said before, ability damage kind of feels useless, like we don't know how much the enhancements really are. And can you think of an ability that could really benefit from extra damage? Yeah, there's not really a use for it, right now at least. The pretty cool looking Kraken shield increases attack when you are low health, but as always, low health perks are just not as great in my opinion. The axe increases back damage per hit, which can be nice, but this is a beginner starter pack item, and back damage is not something you want to focus on or worry about at the start of the game. The bow can be nice though, because this gives crit chance while close to full health, so 90% and up, meaning that you have this perk active for your melee weapons at all times too, as long as you are hitting that health threshold. So I totally think that that's the best item here, although I once again would suggest that you do not get this pack, especially because it's broken right now. I also would not be surprised if these items could show up at Reddit at some point, so that would be another way to get them eventually. If you found cool things in Valhalla, let me know via the input@joraptor.com email address or in the comments under this video. Subscribe of course to stay up to date on the weekly resets and everything going on and coming to the game. I got a cool what is coming in 2021 video coming up real soon. A like on the video would of course really help me out. And check out my previous video on a secret missing quest that nobody got, but we will likely get in the future. For now, I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.